Well, hi, I'm here at my desk and I'm trying to decide what coins I want to send off for grading at CAC and PCGS. My name is Andrea. This is Dig for the Pony. Welcome. I am a new or slash beginning coin collector of about 18 months, and I have sent in one PCGS submission. I have sent in one annex submission, and both those videos are up if you want to take a look to see about the results. I have kind of a process. I pick out the coins that I like. I put them in these flips, and these flips are the 2.5. I think they're 2.5, 2.5 by 2.5. They are double-sided. You only put a coin in one side and then you fold them over, and you don't staple them or do anything like that. You can put a little sticky, like I did here, to show what it is. And in the case of submitting it, you would have more information on that sticker. But I have a little handheld sticker thing that I do that with. I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is one way that I kind of pull from different sources things that I may send in. Now, after I look at these a little more harshly, you might say, under both a magnifying glass like this one. I like this one because it's lighted, and it also has a stand, so I can go like this and do this and work at my desk very easily with this particular one. I also have a microscope that I use, but sometimes the microscope is just too much magnification. But I put them into these, get them ready. If I think they're even close to maybe going off somewhere, why not already have them in that? And then from there, once, you have these, and then you have ones that are just not going to make the cut, that are just out and about. You have to decide whether you want to take these to the bank and toss them back, or whether you want to put them into flips like this. Now, this one happens to be a little big for what it is, but they're cardboard flips, and you put them into cellophane. They're these little envelopes that have self-adhesive, and I try to make sure that the back or the reverse of the coin is on the adhesive side so that I can still see the obverse clearly. These are great because when you have a bunch of coins that you're either stacking or on your side in a box, there's not going to be any friction. It's a much better situation than what I did initially. And this is an easy beginner mistake. I saw at various places coins stapled into these same cardboard flips. But the problem is on the back where the staples go through, these are really rough. I mean, I could, snag my finger on them. So you have to go along and push these down, or just don't do this. I'm going through a bunch of them little by little, taking them out of the ones that I've stapled and putting them like this. So just don't do the staples. That was a bad move and lesson learned. So these are kind of the intermediary, the middle of the road ones. I'm not quite sure whether I want to send them in or not. I really like these Eisenhowers. I think this one has nice, lovely luster and good strike, and it's a 1974 S. It's silver, and I got it out of a blue pack. I'm thinking I'm going to send it in, but sometimes, you send these in and they're only worth $35 and you spent $30 to have them graded, and that's sort of a bummer. So you really got to look at what could it come back higher than, say, MS66. And if there's a nice bump in terms of the value, then it might be worth testing that out. And that's pretty much the case with this guy too. An NIFC 2008. Nice coin, but it may just be worth keeping and storing like that. So I have a lot of these. There's more of these than there are of ones I want to send in. Sometimes when I look at something like this particular coin, it's nice, but is it that nice? And again, it has to do probably more with it being a wheat cent, them no longer, making the pennies. So yeah, I want to send in nice pennies, nice Lincoln cents. I also have a box. I snagged a box of mixed box. I actually got it for my birthday as a gift. that I've yet to go through, so I'm kind of hopeful I'll find some fun stuff there. We'll do another video opening that one of these days. So yeah, I have these. I have some of them marked. I'm going to look very critically at these and hopefully be able to sort out. Here's a nice 1973S. Again, really love these Eisenhowers. They're so beautiful. I want to buy these blue packs all the time, and it's sort of an obsession at this point. I have a lot of these that I have had cello packs, and I decided to cut something out, and then I have these loose. Now, I've seen on eBay they sell these. I'm considering about just saving a collection of these and doing just that, which may happen, but I want to look at them with a critical eye and try and decide, okay, should we grade those? Should we put them in flips? So again, these are kind of in the middle. What do I do with these? Don't really know. Yesterday evening, I needed a bit of coin roll therapy, and I happened to find 5 of these semi-quincentennials of the Mayflower. And just the other day out in the wild, I found my first one, and I guess they're in my area now. So that was pretty exciting. So I'll put these in flips, or I will probably do a roll of these, work on a roll. Sometimes when I'm coin roll hunting, I was doing dimes too. I'll just find really nice looking dimes. What do you guys feel about dimes? Particularly the Roosevelt dimes, clad. I don't know that they are worth grading. I don't know which ones would be. I know full bands is a thing. I'm not even confident that I can pick out full bands. So I still have these, and I wonder, what do I do with them? And then we have the Uncirculated set, the most recent one. I have bought 2 of these. One is still in a box. And I was thinking I was going to be sending in the Lincoln scent from these. I'm now kind of like debating with myself on that. I'm gonna look all of these up and try and get an idea whether it would be worth breaking the setup and sending them in. What do you guys think? I don't know. I was at first thinking I would send in every coin in there and get them into holders and just have them, but that seems like a lot, and I'm not sure financially or emotionally that's worth it at this point. Also have a lot of these proof sets. When I first started collecting, I would just buy up on eBay any of these proof sets. I didn't know the difference between proof sets and mint sets of uncirculated coins. I just thought they were pretty. So I have a lot of these and may start selling these off. I got them for everything from $5 to $10, a whole bunch of them just sitting around. That's the other thing. Got to look up on PCGS to see, is it worth sending in proof sets or proof coins to get them graded? Some of them, yes. Some of them, not so much. Like if we're talking about proof sets and we're talking about Cameo, here is a 1982 proof set, and you've got some nice Cameo, nice frostiness to these. I think this is a really pretty set. I'm not sure why I bought a bunch of 82s other than I remember hearing 82 was rare, and then now I realize that has more to do with the uncirculated business strikes than it does these proof sets. And I have a little of both, but I have a lot more of these. But you had this guy, and then I was looking through them and I found this. It's also a 1982, probably Cameo, but you can't tell because it's got so much environmental damage. Stored probably in a moist area, got in there, and yeah, it gunked up the coins. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a video. I haven't tried eZest before, but I'm thinking this would be a great set to try it on. It's a matter of dipping the coins. I don't imagine I will be sending these in for grading, but I have those. I have a whole bag of partial sets that I purchased at various times. Like this is a 1963 proof set. I got these also for really cheap, maybe $20 maximum. And with the silver in them, that made them a really good deal. And I sent in the halves out of these. And as you can tell, then you're left with the coins that either didn't make the grade for wanting to go in or just are part of the set that you can't figure out what to do with. This is a silver quarter, So conceivably, I could check that out and maybe send it in. But certainly putting them into flips is the likelihood on that one. And I will be doing that. That's another evening of sorting. And then I have, this is one short stack of probably 7 or 8 of these piles. You guys probably have these too. These are actually different years of uncirculated and proof sets, special set, like 1965 here. They're intact, other than they're open. I need to go through these and see if there's any that I want to break up to, again, send them in for grading. The question with grading always comes down to, are you going to gain something by sending the coin in to grade? It's a form of gambling. And are you likely to break even or hit the jackpot? Who knows? I've had really good luck sending in nickels, just your basic nickel, with full steps, sort of the 80s nickels. Surprisingly, coming back in grades of higher MS65 or higher. And yeah, so I'm sort of hooked with that. And since I haven't lost money in a big way, not at all actually, it's kind of fun to think about sending something in and getting a big treasure. So that's it. I'm on a treasure hunt of sorts. This is my pile. This is like, I don't know, maybe an eighth of all the stuff I need to go through. So what do you think? Which ones would you send in? Do you have any thoughts about breaking up these proof sets to send them in? I am checking for no S mint marks on these proof sets. There's some other things to check for, but that's one of those things I check for. Kind of exciting. I purchased a box on eBay for pretty cheap of 1977 proof sets. Never been opened, so I'm hoping there's going to be some treasures in there. Although I don't know that 1977 is the best year to do that. Just happened that was the one that I could get. Oh, and one last thought before I leave you this evening. Looking at the CoinAiLyzer app, I've scanned in a few things. I've run into some bumps, some hiccups. You can, if you have an Apple device, like this is my Apple phone, put it on here. I got my 3 scans, my free scans. I also was able to put it over here on my Mac Mini. 3 free scans. It treats it as a different entity. Got it on the MacBook. So really, I had 9 free scans when it was all said and done, and some extras they gave me because it didn't scan right or something like that. So the thing I would say is, number one, you can get some more scans than you think you can. Worth testing. Sometimes what it's giving you is totally off the mark, doesn't recognize the coin. It's not doing well recognizing some of the moderns right now, but that's over time. I expect that will all get better. I am going to take the coins that I want to send in. I'm going to go outside and I'm use natural light. I'm going to set my phone about 4 inches on a platform above the coin. I'm going to elevate the coin on a bottle cap so there's a little dimension to it, flat. I'm going to use macro photography on an iPhone 17. I'm going to take photographs of them, both the obverse and the reverse, have those in my photo gallery for all the coins I want to send in. And then I just ordered something that I think is going to be, I think it's either going to be a great thing or it's going to be a waste of money. I don't think there's going to be much in between on this one. But it's going to be a kind of like a shadow box or a photo box for coins. And what it's going to do is eliminate a lot of the side light that's coming in and allow direct light source. And I'm going to take photographs of the same coins again. But I'm going to do it with that and not outside like I was doing the first ones. So I'll have 2 sets of the same coin, 2 sets of photographs front and back. Then I'm going to take those over to the CoinAiLyzer I don't know how to say that app name. It's kind of hard. I like how it's spelled, but tough to say. But I'm going to take it in and I'm going to treat it as though those are two separate coins and see what the grades come back. And if they come back differently, that'll be interesting. And from that, I will decide, along with looking at Photograde and, you know, just comparing based on information, what coins I'm going to actually send in. So we've got a few things going on. We've got some potential coin dipping. We've got some coin photographing and photographing again, and looking at things with the app. So yeah, this is what I do when I'm trying to relax and also excited about videos that I can make for you guys. And as a new collector, just having fun with it. I hope that you have enjoyed the video, and if you have any thoughts or comments or questions, please leave them for me in the comments. If you have any thoughts on any of the coins you've seen and you think, oh yeah, you should definitely send that in, or what are you thinking, you can do that too. And also, when we get to going on the other video with the photography, I'll be really interested to know what you guys think. I'm optimistic that we'll figure it out, and it'll be one more tool in the tool belt. So, my name is Andrea. This is Dig for the Pony.